What's up guys, Nando here with one more video and iPhone 8 Plus final review time. If you haven't watched my previous videos, I did an unboxing on the iPhone 8 Plus. I've also done things to consider. I like to do a short little series when I, review phones and devices. This is the culmination of the iPhone 8 Plus. Things to consider, things that stand out to me while I'm using it. Final review are things I've liked and disliked about this phone. So I've been using this phone since it's come out. It's been my primary device. I've only switched it out a few times to play with the Note 8 and the Sony Xperia XZ1. But I feel like I've got a very good understanding and grasp of what this phone is all about, who it's for, and what I honestly think of this phone. So let me move the case out the way a little bit. Like I said, this is the iPhone 8 Plus. Honestly, when I look at this phone, I immediately kind of get deflated. I get deflated because I know there's something better around the corner, or something that is supposed to be better. It's going to be a big embarrassment if it isn't better, and I'm talking about the iPhone X, the iPhone 10. And because of that, it really takes away from the fact that the iPhone 8 Plus and 8, I haven't played around with the 8, this is the 8 Plus, is a fantastic device. By far, obviously, the best iPhone out, the best iPhone ever made, and you would think and you would expect that to be the case with every future iteration, but it really truly is a great phone. And I just hate the fact that Apple chose to go with the same design language on the 8. I think that that's going to really make them lose sales on the 8 and 8 Plus model, but again, it's also going to help increase sales with the iPhone 10. Now, focusing on the 8 Plus, it looks the same as the 7 Plus, I think even the 6S Plus before it. This is the black version, so there's no jet black, there's just space gray. And the space gray, I do have a case on this phone, is like a hybrid between the matte black and the jet black. Because the glass gives it that glossy look, you can't get away with that unless you put some sort of skin on it or a case. But it's not as gray as the space gray of old that we're used to, and it's not as shiny as the jet black, and it's definitely not a matte black. So I like it a lot. They also have a gold that you have to see in person, because it would take me several minutes trying to describe how that gold really looks like. And then they have a silver that I think is pretty sleek. So the iPhone 8 Plus is a fantastic phone. If you saw my things to consider video, you're going to know that I really enjoy the speaker quality on this phone. I really like the battery life on this phone. I like that they've introduced wireless charging. I hate that it's a very slow wireless charging. So definitely going to put that in a dislike, is the wireless charging on this phone. But at the same time, it also has to be a like, because they finally brought it. So we can't hold it over Apple that Android's had that forever. We know it. We get it. It's an old joke. They have had it forever. But now, Android people, I know you don't like it. I'm an Android guy myself as well. I love both. Okay, so check out my other videos. You know what I'm talking about. But if Apple is going to go all in on wireless charging, then it's going to be a thing. Just like Apple Pay. If Apple goes all in on it, most people follow. So, hey, let's enjoy the ride. Let's appreciate that a bunch of other stores out there, Starbucks type situations, where we're going to be able to see wireless charging pads throughout our day-to-day commute. So, yay for that. However, it's a slow wireless charge. You're better off getting, Apple's 40-something plus dollar bigger watt wall adapter to charge this phone faster than I think to get a wireless charge. I think you're going to get more enjoyment and more out of a faster charge than a convenient place to drop your phone. So that can go both ways, likes and dislikes. Another thing that I love about this phone, and I'm actually going to put it in its own category, love, is this bad boy right here. This camera is fantastic. So DxOMark rates this camera as the best camera out right now on a smartphone. So some people like to listen to DxOMark. All I know is that as a person who just picks up my phone to take pictures and videos, I love this camera. I have no issues with this camera. I haven't complained whatsoever about this camera. I love this camera. It's a great camera. And we know that about Apple. We know that they make great cameras for their smartphones. That little thing that some are going to call gimmick, the whole portrait mode, whether it's studio lighting, contour lighting, this lighting or that lighting, is really fun. It's not perfect all the time, but then again, it is in beta mode. But hey, the camera itself, dual lens, telephoto lens, single lens, 2 times optical image, zoom or whatever, great. My favorite thing about this camera, however, and about this phone, by far my favorite thing about this phone and camera, okay, because they go hand in hand, is the fact that this bad boy shoots 4K and 60 frames per second. Wow, that's incredible, because the camera that I'm using right now, this actual camera thing that's recording this video, doesn't shoot 4K, and most cameras out there right now don't shoot 4K, and those that do shoot 4K definitely don't shoot 60K. I'm talking to those GH5 lovers out there. I know that you guys get the 60 frames per second, but the average camera out there does not. Canon, how about you put that in your cameras? Because I'm using a Canon right now and it doesn't have 4K. So this guy shoots 60 frames per second, 4K, and it also shoots, I think, like 240 frames per second slow-mo, 1080p. So you're going to get some really fun shooting ability with this phone. You can actually, if you're starting off YouTube channel, if you're loving to shoot video, you probably don't even need a dedicated camera. I mean, you're probably going to need some sort of mic, right? Like a Rode or something to get better audio. But this guy right here has an incredible camera. 60 frames per second and 4K is amazing. I can't stress that enough. The front-facing camera is solid. It's not great. No complaints, really. Other than, of course, I wish it was better. The iPhone 10 is going to have a better front-facing camera. It's even going to be able to do the portrait stuff with the front-facing camera. So I wish that Apple did that. I wish Apple had a better screen. This is still IPS, but it does have True Tone display. I talked about in my previous video. Things to consider. True Tone display is really, really great. It makes viewing stuff a little easier on the eyes. It's like having a permanent, like, nighttime shade, you know, the little nighttime feature so that the blue tint doesn't hurt your eyes. It's like having a permanent one of those on all day. Obviously, you can turn that off if you don't like it. I really, really like it. It takes in the light surrounding the phone, and it kind of dims or undims and kind of yellows out the screen. That's as untechy of a review on the True Tone display as I can do, honestly. Sorry about that. But yeah, I love that. I love the speakers on this phone. Got one right here at the bottom right-hand corner. I don't think this left one does anything other than cosmetic. It's pretty stupid. And I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I think that's the case. At least with the 7 Plus, it was the case. And then you got one on the top. So louder speakers, better sounding speakers. Apple has improved that. That's not just a thing. It's not no placebo effect. It's actually a thing they did. They've improved it. That is much better. Other than that, man, there's really not much to it. The A Plus, even the 8. Again, I haven't tried the 8. You get a new chipset inside. They call it the A11 Bionic, and the thing is a beast. It really is a beast, but for people who just want to use their phone, most Apple users don't care about specs like that. We know that. But this thing right here competes and surpasses the Snapdragons of the world. So those other Android phones out there that have them Snapdragons, if we're just going to go raw benchmarks, you know, we can sit here all day and do it. This one apparently beats it. Day-to-day operation, we already know how Apple is with RAM. They really know how to use it well. 3 gigs, I think, on this guy. So usage on this phone coupled with iOS 11, no complaints whatsoever, no stutters, no lags, no issues. Again, things that I don't like about this phone, the design. It's old, it's outdated. I don't care if there's a glass back. The glass back is there for wireless charging. That's it. I don't like the bezels. I'm over it. So Apple knows that, and Apple is introducing the iPhone 10. I wish the front-facing camera was better. I wish that it charged fast out of the box, that I didn't need to spend another $45-something to get a bigger watt battery. And I wish that wireless charging was faster as well, like other Android phones out there. But other than that, by far the best phone Apple has made. No complaints, no serious complaints. And that's it. So if I'm missing something, guys, please let me know in the comments section below. What are you guys currently using? Are you considering this guy right here, which still costs a pretty penny? It's an expensive phone, but it is a good bit cheaper than the iPhone 10 once that drops. I think over $200 cheaper, maybe almost $300 once you factor in taxes and things. Well, like I was saying, let me know in the comment section below if you're skipping the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, if you're skipping the iPhone 10. Are you waiting out on the 10? What are you guys thinking right now? Are you even going to get an Android phone? We've got the Google Pixels coming out soon. We've got some Note 8s that are fantastic. I love it. I still use mine. Even LG V30. Let me know in the comment section below what your thought process is. And like always, I will respond back. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. Stay tuned for comparisons between this and the Note 8. And that's mostly going to be a hardware comparison, guys. I don't like to get into software with that type of comparison because obviously it's a complete different type of experience. However, hardware, we can compare a little better. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button for that video. And like always, stay geeky. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace and salute. I'm out. Adios.